The following message is transmitted at the request of the Michigan State Government and the Detroit Police Department. A serious threat has been reported in the city of Detroit. Strange creatures have emerged from a mysterious portal downtown. Hundreds of hostile entities are attacking civilians without warning. The creatures are described as pig-like humanoids with golden weapons. Eyewitnesses report that these creatures are extremely aggressive. Do not approach these creatures under any circumstance. A massive beast, larger than a bus, has also been sighted near the portal. This larger creature is causing significant destruction to buildings. The portal is located near Campus Martius Park. Emergency services are struggling to contain the situation. All residents of downtown Detroit are urged to evacuate immediately. Seek shelter and secure reinforced buildings away from the downtown area. If you cannot evacuate, lock all doors and windows immediately. Do not attempt to confront the creatures. They are extremely dangerous and heavily armed. Stay tuned to local media outlets for further information and instructions. Authorities are investigating the cause of the portal's appearance. Military forces are being mobilized to assist with evacuation. Avoid the areas of Woodward Avenue and Jefferson Avenue. The large creature is moving eastward toward residential neighborhoods. Please remain calm and follow official instructions carefully. This is a rapidly developing situation. Do not share unverified information online. Stay away from downtown Detroit until an all clear is given. Stay tuned for more updates on this dangerous situation. This message is transmitted at the request of the Michigan State Police and the Oakland County Sheriff's Office. Royal Oak residents are facing an immediate threat from unknown hostile creatures. Pig-like humanoids have now invaded residential areas and main streets. Reports indicate these creatures are armed with golden axes and crossbows. Multiple fires have been started throughout downtown Royal Oak. The creatures are attacking civilians, cars, and structures without mercy. A massive entity known as the Great Hog is also present in the area. The Great Hog is responsible for destroying multiple city blocks. Law enforcement is currently overwhelmed and outnumbered. Residents are urged to shelter in place immediately. Secure all doors, windows, and entry points. Stay out of sight and do not make loud noises. If you see a piglin or the Great Hog, hide immediately. Under no circumstances should anyone engage these entities. Royal Oak Middle School is being used as an emergency shelter. Only approach emergency shelters if it is absolutely safe to do so. Do not use major roadways unless directed by authorities. The National Guard has been deployed to assist with containment. Explosions have been heard near the Royal Oak Farmers Market. Avoid downtown Royal Oak and surrounding areas. Emergency responders are setting up blockades to slow the creatures. Please remain indoors until an evacuation order is given. This is a dangerous and unpredictable event. Stay tuned to trusted news sources for further updates. Law enforcement is doing everything possible to manage the threat. Stay indoors and wait for official instructions. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Michigan Emergency Management Agency. A major civil emergency is underway in Oakland County, Michigan. The hostile invasion by pig-like creatures continues to spread uncontrollably. Southfield is now experiencing heavy destruction from the attackers. Government sources have identified the leader of these creatures as Malgosha. Malgosha is described as an extremely powerful and armored entity. Reports confirm that Malgosha is commanding the Piglins in their attacks. The Great Hog has been seen crushing vehicles and buildings with these. Residents are advised to evacuate immediately if possible. Use only designated evacuation routes marked by local police. If you are unable to evacuate, remain hidden and silent. Stay away from windows and doors. Local cell networks may experience outages due to widespread destruction. Emergency shelters have been established at Southfield High School. Shelters have food, water, and medical supplies for several days. If you are trapped, attempt to contact 911 quietly or use emergency text lines. Do not attempt to flee through open areas where Piglins are visible. The situation is volatile and extremely dangerous. The U.S. military has been given authorization to engage the creatures. Avoid any confrontations or attempts to film the entities. Local and federal agencies are coordinating a larger evacuation. Use extreme caution when moving between buildings or outside. The National Guard is moving east to assist evacuation efforts. Remain tuned to local broadcasts for critical updates. This emergency may last for an extended period. Stay indoors, stay quiet, and stay alive. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Genesee County Emergency Management Agency and the Michigan State Police. Residents of Flint are ordered to evacuate immediately. The hostile creatures have now entered the Flint city limits. The Piglins are swarming the streets and residential neighborhoods. Explosions have been reported near downtown Flint. Malgosha has been spotted leading Piglin forces into the city. The Great Hog has demolished multiple buildings downtown. Flint Fire Department has lost communication with several fire stations. Evacuation routes include I-69 eastbound and I-475 southbound. Shelters are available in Saginaw and Lapeer counties. Bring only essential supplies and leave immediately. Traffic is expected to be extremely heavy during evacuation. Avoid traveling alone if possible and stay in groups. Keep your headlights on and move cautiously through evacuation routes. Do not attempt to return to your homes once evacuated. Military helicopters are assisting in evacuation from key areas. Emergency sirens will sound every 10 minutes to signal danger zones. Stay inside your vehicles unless otherwise instructed. Avoid using freeways not designated for evacuation. If you encounter a Piglin, do not engage or stop. Local radio stations will broadcast safe route updates. Authorities stress the urgency of this evacuation. Remaining behind places you in severe danger. The Piglin forces are heavily armed and destructive. Emergency services will not be able to assist those who stay behind. Leave Flint now. Stay tuned for more updates on evacuation efforts. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Saginaw County Sheriff's Office and the Michigan State Emergency Operations Center. Saginaw is now facing an active and dangerous threat from unknown creatures. Piglin forces have breached the city limits. Reports indicate that more Piglins are coming through the portal. Malgosha was seen giving orders to larger groups of Piglins. The Great Hog has caused massive destruction to the Saginaw Event Center. Several bridges over the Saginaw River have been damaged. The entire downtown district is under attack. Residents are urged to shelter immediately or evacuate if possible. Use only official evacuation routes. Roads near the river are unsafe and heavily damaged. Local law enforcement is unable to stop the advancing forces. Fires are spreading throughout the city. Water service disruptions are likely due to damage at pumping stations. The Piglins are targeting vehicles and fleeing civilians. Remain calm and quiet if sheltering in place. Stay out of sight and cover all windows. Do not attempt to engage the creatures in any way. Avoid open streets and parks. Large groups of Piglins are traveling north and east. A curfew is now in effect until further notice. The Great Hog is moving toward the industrial sector. Stay tuned for further instructions and emergency updates. Expect frequent power outages across the city. Military assistance is arriving to assist evacuation efforts. Stay tuned for continuing emergency information. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Bay County Emergency Management Agency. A local emergency has been declared in Bay City, Michigan. Piglins have entered residential and commercial areas. The creatures are extremely hostile and destructive. Multiple neighborhoods are being attacked simultaneously. Malgosh and the Great Hog are leading the assault. The Great Hog has toppled radio towers and damaged several schools. Citywide blackouts are now occurring. Residents should immediately seek secure shelter indoors. Avoid travel unless absolutely necessary. If trapped, signal for help using lights or reflective objects. Stay off all major roadways unless part of an evacuation convoy. Boil water notices are now in effect due to water plant damage. The Piglins have established a stronghold near Bay City Mall. Military vehicles are attempting to reclaim downtown Bay City. Use caution around bridges and elevated highways. Several have been reported compromised or destroyed. Do not attempt to cross damaged infrastructure. Federal authorities are now overseeing regional evacuations. The U.S. Air Force is preparing an aerial counterattack. Local hospitals are reaching capacity quickly. Stay calm and do not overload emergency call centers unless necessary. If you have supplies, prepare for at least 72 hours of shelter in place. Expect additional emergency alerts as the situation evolves. Remain indoors, silent, and alert. Stay tuned for further information as it becomes available. This message is transmitted at the request of the Ohio Department of Public Safety and Toledo Police Department. Toledo residents face a dangerous and immediate threat from hostile invaders. Piglins have crossed state lines into Ohio. The Great Hog is causing massive destruction in southern Toledo. Malgosh has been seen commanding groups at key intersections. Major highways like I-75 and I-475 are becoming impassable. Citywide evacuations are underway. Emergency shelters have been established at the University of Toledo. Stay away from downtown Toledo and surrounding areas. Authorities have confirmed the creatures are expanding their attacks. Avoid public parks, shopping centers, and open spaces. Use marked evacuation routes when possible. Do not stop to collect belongings or pets if in immediate danger. Stay with family or small groups for safety. Keep your headlights on at all times when traveling. Military convoys are active throughout the city. Helicopters are evacuating critical patients and personnel. Do not attempt to film or approach the Piglins. Malgosia's forces have established several zones of control. Stay away from high traffic and densely populated areas. The Great Hog has been seen near the Huntington Center Arena. Fires are spreading rapidly across downtown Toledo. Water and power outages are expected for at least 24 hours. Remain patient and wait for further evacuation instructions. Stay tuned for more emergency updates. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Ohio Emergency Management Agency and the Federal Emergency Management Agency. The cities of Cleveland, Akron, and surrounding suburbs are now under civil emergency status. Piglin forces continue advancing rapidly northeastward. Malgosia has created several new groups of heavily armed Piglins. The Great Hog has caused catastrophic damage to First Energy Stadium. Residents in Cleveland are ordered to shelter in place immediately. If sheltering, avoid windows, doors, and rooftops. Stay underground if possible. Subway tunnels and basements are being used as emergency shelters. Hospitals are operating at maximum capacity. Generators are failing due to infrastructure attacks. The Piglins are targeting emergency vehicles and power stations. Stay off all major highways unless directed by police. Law enforcement is stretched thin and cannot guarantee rescue. Expect further emergency alerts throughout the night. Keep mobile devices charged and emergency radios active. Remain indoors and avoid drawing attention to your location. If evacuation orders are issued, move quickly and quietly. Federal and state forces are coordinating a major counteroffensive. Civilian volunteers are requested only through official agencies. Avoid panic and keep children and vulnerable individuals calm. The National Weather Service warns of smoke hazards from fires. Respiratory protection is recommended when outdoors. This emergency is unprecedented in U.S. history. Stay indoors, stay silent, stay alive. Stay tuned for more information.
Regular programming. This is a national emergency. Important details will follow. The following message is transmitted by order of the United States government. This is a national emergency. All U.S. citizens must listen carefully to this message. A hostile invasion from unknown entities is underway across multiple states. Creatures identified as Piglins, led by an entity known as Malgosia, have emerged through a portal in Detroit, Michigan. Massive destruction is occurring across the Midwest and Eastern United States. The Great Hog has been responsible for catastrophic property damage. Federal forces are actively engaging the threat with all available resources. All non-essential travel is now banned nationwide. Curfews are in place for all states east of the Mississippi River. Obey all instructions from local and federal authorities immediately. Shelter indoors if not already evacuated. Do not attempt to approach or interact with the Piglin forces. All schools, businesses, and government offices are closed until further notice. Expect widespread communication disruptions. Backup power and emergency systems should be activated immediately. The United States government is coordinating with allied nations for assistance. Evacuation flights are being organized from major airports. Priority evacuation is for medical patients, government personnel, and vulnerable populations. Do not overcrowd shelters unless instructed. Remain calm and follow emergency protocols. If instructed to move, do so quickly and quietly. The threat is severe, but containment strategies are underway. Trust only official information sources for updates. Social media may contain false or harmful information. Stay tuned for official updates from the Emergency Alert System, FEMA, and your local authorities. This is not a test. The United States is under attack. We will prevail. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency. Philadelphia residents face an imminent threat from hostile creatures. Piglins have entered the city limits. Explosions are reported near Center City in South Philadelphia. The Great Hog has demolished part of Lincoln Financial Field. Malgosha has fortified positions near the Schuylkill River. Shelter indoors immediately. Stay underground if possible. Avoid all bridges and high-rise buildings. Several bridges have collapsed from Piglin attacks. Fires are burning out of control throughout downtown. Stay out of sight and remain absolutely silent if sheltering. Authorities are attempting final evacuations along I-76 and I-95. Do not approach emergency vehicles unless flagged down. If trapped, use flashlights to signal helicopters at night. Remain calm and do not separate from family groups. Avoid all unnecessary movement. Expect rolling blackouts throughout the night. Federal agencies are coordinating with local police for extractions. The Great Hog has been spotted near Citizens Bank Park. Stay indoors and do not attempt to film or approach creatures. Military drones are conducting surveillance and strikes. If you see a Piglin group approaching, hide immediately. Stay tuned for life-saving instructions. This situation remains extremely dangerous.
following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. Attention all residents. The immediate national threat has been neutralized. Malgosha has been captured by U.S. Armed Forces. All known Piglin entities have been eliminated. The Great Hug was terminated during military operations in Philadelphia. The Nether Portal has been sealed and destroyed. There is no longer an active threat to civilian populations. Recovery efforts are now underway nationwide. Return to homes only when authorities declare it safe. Many areas remain dangerous due to debris, fires, and unstable structures. Emergency services are prioritizing search and rescue. Federal disaster aid has been authorized. Stay tuned for recovery and relief instructions. Expect curfews and checkpoints throughout affected cities. Volunteers should only report through official agencies. Remain cautious and report any suspicious activity. Be mindful of fallen power lines and hazardous materials. Do not drink tap water until safety is confirmed. Mental health services are available for those affected. The United States stands resilient in the face of this disaster. Continue to listen to local authorities for guidance. Together, we will rebuild stronger than ever. Thank you for your cooperation and bravery.